I'm back. Hi, I'm the Gem Book Reviews and welcome back to my channel. I've been gone for 3 whole months and I'm here with my April TBR. I'm back with my April TBR. I've been gone for a while, so if you guys would like me to go back in time and revisit some of my last TBR from, I don't know, December, January, somewhere in there, I would gladly do that. Just comment below. And I will get back to you on what you want to hear. What do you want to see? What do you want to see from my channel? I've been busy. Life has taken me busy places. And I've had friends reach out, you guys. Thank you so much for reaching out. Ro from the TBR Tackle. Follow Ro on her channel. She's on a hiatus right now, but by the time I post this, I hope Ro will be back. We miss you. Come back to Booktube. We want to watch your videos. Love you. For my TBR this month, so far, I am reading Indigo Lake by Jodie Thomas, as you can see there. This will be my first Jodie Thomas book that I've ever read. It is published by HQN, which is a subsidy of Harlequin. Really excited to tell you that I am like more than halfway through this book. I had it on a hiatus for about a month because I was too busy arc reading for all my favorite author friends, Julia Jarrett, Leslie Ann, and I'm super excited to get back into this book. I read a lot yesterday. I read a ton of it. I am, as you can see, chapter 23. Enjoy my elf bookmark there. My elf bookmark. Does somebody need a hug? I do. So to tell you a little bit about this book, it starts out with our male MMC, Blade Hamilton. Blade is coming on site to Indigo Lake because he is just finding out his dad that he never got to know or knew even the name of who he was or anything has just died, unfortunately. And so he inherited this property on Indigo Lake. Blake comes to check this place out. It's a little dated. There's a lot wrong with it, but he's starting to see there's a tradition in his family where all the women in his life and his family's ancestors' lives have kind of left the scene and left only the men to continue the line as it goes. And while he's there, of course, his motorcycle gets stuck in the mud and he can't get out. And of course, who comes along but Dakota? And Dakota comes to rescue him with her pickup. She's very hesitant. She doesn't really like this guy that much. She's heard a lot about the curses of the Hamilton men and what happens to the women. There is this kind of curse, kind of feud between the two families of the Hamiltons and Dakota's family for generations upon generations. Her grandma's been telling her stories for years about the devilish Hamilton men and all the ghosts of their past. They've been lucky because the ranch that he lives on has been empty for quite a while. So they meet, and there's a little bit of an enemies to lovers kind of scenario there because Dakota's very hesitant on him and he's very much, I'm a one girl and kind of leave scenario kind of guy. This story really heats up when we meet Laura Brigman. She is the sheriff's daughter, and we kind of learn a past about her and her 3 guy friends, Lucas, Tim, and Reed. Things kind of take a big turn for the worst when Lucas and Reed kind of get into this big kerfuffle and this big fight. Turns out there's some type of secret that Laura didn't know about between the boys. Reed has decided to sell the whole property and the ranch, leaving Lucas's dad in kind of a lurch of no job, no home to live in, and it kind of like obviously pisses Lucas right off, and rightfully so. That's a little bit cruel. Shortly after, there's this big fire that erupts at the Bar W, and Blade kind of gets roped into this whole predicament when they find out, the local sheriff in town finds out that he has experience with being in arson situations and debriefing and all that kind of stuff in his job. So the sheriff in town has no deputies and hires Blade as a temporary deputy. And they shortly find out that there has been a murder in the Bar W on scene, and now they need to find out what the murder is. And Blade's kind of in a predicament because he's like, I want this romance with Dakota. I like her family. I'm not a long-term guy, but I also have this temporary vacation job where I'm gonna solve this murder. and I have a house to fix up. It's just this whole shenanigan. I love these kinds of books where there's a bit of a mystery, there's suspense, there's action. There's definitely action in this book. And of course, there's a romance and some spice. Another character I will shortly mention that I absolutely love in this book is Dakota's sister, Maria. She is, as we find out in this book, blind. She was kind of had an incident earlier in life where it blinded her, and Dakota has since been taking care of her and their grandmother. I love Maria's side story. She's canning all these types of fruits and vegetables on the side. She's a huge romance reader. She's always audiobooking or trying to insert Dakota in this weird romance scenario that she's concocted in her head, and she's a sweetheart. I love her. It adds to the story. And of course, Blade loves her too. And that just drives Dakota nuts. And I would 100% recommend reading Indigo Lake by Jodie Thomas. It is just chef's kiss. We love it. We have if you guys can see that, the intrigue line we have by Patricia Rosemore, Rescuing the Virgin. You know I bought this just for the title, right? I was with my fiance shopping and I saw the title and I was like, that is iconic. That is Harlequin at its core with the raunchy, funny, cheesy titles. So I bought it. It is from the McKenna Legacy series. I don't think I've read any of those yet. This is number 1128 in the Intrigue series, released in April of 2009. Quinlan McKenna Farrell has seen the family legacy of love work for other McKennas, but he has also seen the darker side of human nature. Hounded by his failure to bring down a human trafficking ring, the rugged special agent has returned to Texas more determined than ever to succeed, only to discover temptation beyond his wildest fantasies. Luz Delgado is the virgin soul to Quinn as he works undercover, but she's hardly the underage illegal he's expecting. The abducted American is courageous, true of heart, and in desperate need of his help. To save her and reveal the identity of the ringleader, he enters into a reluctant alliance with the beautiful captive. Except survival isn't a guarantee. I love intrigue. I'm a huge fan. I've never read Patricia Rosemore so far, but I'm like excited to check her out and read. I'm not sure how much she's written for Harlequin yet, but I would love to read more. All right. After that, I have The Playboy Meets His Match. That cover, though. Do you guys see that, though? Like, that is some clinch, you know what I mean? This is from Texas Cattlemen's Club. I have read a Texas Cattlemen's Club book before, but I believe, a spin-off Texas Club Cattlemen's book in like the earlier, like not earlier, the later Desires unfortunately no more, but and I'm deeply saddened by it. I know a few other people are deeply saddened by it. This is The Last Bachelor. So I don't know if it's Texas Cattlemen's Club The Last Bachelor, and that's a series on itself. But it is by Sarah Orwig. She, I believe, still writes for Harlequin or has written more recent stuff. I have never read her before. But this is actually from the Silhouette line. So this is pre-Harlequin Desire. All right, so this is The Texas Heartbreaker. Retired FBI agent Jason Windover had a new assignment to keep 5-foot and feisty redhead Meredith Silver out of trouble. Jason was an old hand at charming the fairer sex, and he figured a little sweet seduction would keep Mary suitably distracted. But electrifying kisses and tempestuous loving soon had the sexy bachelor determined to make Mary his own on a permanent basis. Now, if he could just convince her that he was ready to give up his playboy ways for good. Next up, we have Wild, Beautiful, and Free by Safronia Scott. All right, this is the description. Born the daughter of an enslaved woman and a Louisiana plantation owner, Jeanette Bibbin is raised alongside her white half-sister until her father suddenly dies. His vindictive wife refuses 12-year-old Jeanette her inheritance and sells her into slavery. Now on her own, Jeanette must fight the injustices she faces because of her mixed race. She escapes enslavement and travels from Mississippi to Philadelphia to New York to Ohio, all while searching for purpose, love, and her place in a country torn asunder by the burgeoning Civil War. Everything seems to fall into place when she meets Kristen Robichaud Colster. Colchester, the white proprietor of the Fortitude Mansion, a safe haven for escaped slaves where Jeanette teaches, but despite their instant connection, Jeanette isn't convinced she belongs in his circle. In a world that tells her she doesn't fit anywhere, Jeanette must decide what's important, bending to the expectations of others or embracing her true self. I just thought it was so good. I love books like this. I'm very intrigued by the whole aspect of this book. Loke's Love. Sorry for the glare, you guys. My light just wants to get in the way. But yeah, Loke's Love by Carrie Crespi. And it is a short alien novella. The only alien romance I've ever read is the Ruby Dixon one, but not the first one. I think it was like several books into it. I have since not gone back, but it was enjoyable. What I remember reading was enjoyable. Would you take the chance to love again after suffering betrayed? As an avid science fiction romance reader, Athea had a secret dream of finding true love with a hunky alien. Hunky alien. Oh, ooh la la. When she caught an unexpected chance to do just that, she didn't hesitate. She left Earth and everything familiar behind. But what should have been a fairy tale ends up a nightmare when she's betrayed and given to a merciless space pirates. Loke ended up an outcast from the planet Zarian, where his evil twin held him captive and in isolation for 5 decades. Ooh, that's kind of mean. With his brother now dead, he struggles with conflicting emotions. He mourns the loss of his childhood sibling, but is relieved when the man who caused him so much suffering is finally gone. And freedom brings with it heavy price. To evade the bounty on his head for the countless crimes committed by a sibling, Loke must stay hidden from the entire galaxy. Everything changes when he hears her sing in an alien pub for the first time. Captivated by the alluring human, Loke is determined to meet the female he knows in his heart is his true bond. And I think we'll stop it there because there's like a huge description, but I don't want to read any more and spoil it for anybody else, including myself. So I liked the cover. I am going to borrow it off of Hoopla and read it there because they did have it on Hoopla. I didn't have to buy it on Kindle or anything. So I'm going to check that out because I've never read a Carrie Crespi before or any more alien romance. And this is short, so I should be able to decide if I'm into it or not into it. And of course, the last book on my TBR is from the amazing, the lovely Miss Julia Jarrett. Look at the cover on that. This is the male version cover, but there is also going to be a discreet cover. Check Instagram. It was updated and released today. Not the book. The book is still on an arc, but the cover is available for everybody to check out. I'm going to buy the discreet cover, and when I meet her in July, I'm going to have her sign it. So super excited for that. She hasn't done baseball romance before. She's done a lot of small towns, so this is going to be a huge change, and I'm so excited to get the arc for that. I live by one simple. My daughter and baseball are all that matter. Until I get traded to the same team, my unforgettable vacation fling works for. I don't think I'm going to give you any more than that. I think I'm going to let you guys figure it out. I'm going to let you guys check it out. It's Single Dad. And yeah, there was a little bit of a prequel, kind of clippy clip in the end of One Night to Win You. If you kind of read that at the end, you would kind of see that there was a little bit of a blurb on that. But I am excited. Hot vacation hookups, flings, and single dads have been a really big thing for me lately. Leslie Ann, I'm looking at you. If you haven't checked out Leslie Ann's books, you absolutely should. We have Stolen Moments, which is her newest book that I absolutely just finished loving in an arc form. And we have Stolen Hearts, which is the first one. And Stolen Hearts will always be my favorite because it's my first Leslie Ann. It is her debut book, but it is also a vacation fling and a fun read. There's so much heartbreak, there's so much emotion, there's a little bit of suffering. But I love angst. I loved their whole story. Rylan is the absolute epitome of a sunshine heroine, and Jace just eats everything up on, like, can you tell I love the book? And Stolen Moments is coming out real soon. It is the sequel with Jace's brother Mason as the main character. He's a little bit of a broody MMC. We love a little bit of broody. And of course, he falls in love at First Sight by someone he sees in the airport, and they have a long distance romance, and it's fabulous. It is perfection. Please go check out Leslie Ann as well, because I'm a huge fan. She's just fantastic. I've binge read both of her books. They're longer reads, I will say that. They are about 400 to 500 pages each, but they're just out of this world awesome. So check her out as well. As for that, I think that's all for my TBR. I have a lot more books in my TBR, but I'm trying to be not as ambitious because the last 2 months I've been reading have been kind of like, it has not been great. I'll be honest, it has not been great. And for me, that's heartbreaking because I love, love, love to read books. We all know this. I love to read books, but I'm hoping, because I heard a lot of people had a really bad March month, like a really bad, I didn't have a bad reading month. I read beautifully with Stolen Hearts and Stolen Moments, and they were both 5 stars for me. And I also read Court of the Queen, and that was also 5 stars. I don't know, I had a good reading month, but what I'm saying is that I didn't read as much. And I don't know, maybe that's because I read a 400 to 500 page book twice, so I read like 1,000-page book essentially. That could have been it. My reading challenge, my Goodreads challenge, was telling me, hey girl, you're 7 books behind, and I was like, stop. Okay, not okay. I was not having that. The 7 books behind. So I had to change that. I initially had it set for 90 books. It is now at 70. And it says I'm right on track, so I'm happy about that. I don't like the we have to catch up mentality, because this is why I haven't been on Booktube. I've been like stuck in that mentality of we have to catch up, and I'm like, I just don't have the time. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for tuning into my channel. I know this video was an absolute hot mess. I have not been recording or doing anything. I'm just now getting back into posting again. Kind of been on a hiatus. But if you didn't know, I always am active. I'm active every day on the Gem Book Reviews on Instagram. So follow me on Instagram and you will keep up with all the things that I post, because I post a lot. I'm always on there all daily. I have not disappeared. I may not be on YouTube, but I'm always on Instagram. So check things out. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with me on my April TBR. See you guys.